What's up, guys? PowerBlast X here, back with another video, and today I'm gonna be saying how simply opening the lid of my laptop caused Windows to break itself. Welcome to episode 2 of the PowerBlast X podcast. So before I start, I just want to spend the first few minutes talking about this podcast. So if you haven't watched this channel, pretty much like the first podcast was in March, the first episode, but like it was just about random topics and it wasn't good. But like this episode, instead of it being live with like some other person, this will just be a pre-recorded podcast just by myself, and it will be about what my channel is about. This topic will be tech. Okay, but yeah, no. So hope you enjoy that. Obviously, like this stuff this is not live, by the way. This is just all my socials at the bottom here, and then I got a new podcast logo. But in this logo, this is just my dad's t-shirt. It's not my t-shirt. It's just the place where he works at. But okay, guys, let's get started. So this was a few months ago, right? I was in class. I was still in 10th grade. I was like going out of my English class to go to my history class, and I was just using my laptop, right? Like everything seemed normal, right? It didn't tell me anything was gonna happen, and like it was working normally, right? My laptop, it was a Dell Latitude 5500. That's my laptop. It was one of the best laptops, even though it's like old, even though it's 7 years old today now. Like that laptop was made 7 years ago. That doesn't mean it's bad at all. It's actually one of the best laptops. It's actually one of the best value laptops you can get today, refurbished, used prices. And the specs are good. It has an 8th gen Core i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 512 actually, 512 gigabytes of storage, and even an AMD GPU, and like Thunderbolt UEFI class 3, like modern Ethernet, Wi-Fi 5. Even though Wi-Fi 6 it's not Wi-Fi 6, but still Wi-Fi 5 is still not the. It's still like, I don't know what I'm saying, but Bluetooth 5.1. It's like it's still a good laptop today. That's what I'm trying to say. And like so. But you know, I was just using it normally, right? It was working fine, but then I just closed the lid on my laptop because, right, I was trying to change periods, and it's the most normal thing you could do, right? Just close the laptop, put it in sleep mode, put it in my backpack, and then like it takes like, and then by the time I open it up again, it's only been 5 minutes, okay? It's only been 5 minutes. It's been exactly 5 minutes. Alright, and by the time 5 minutes passed, I was already in my next classroom, and then I was taking on my laptop again because I had to do another assignment that involved the internet. So yeah, but then take the laptop out of my backpack, right? This was like some kind of partner-based assignment I had to do, some like U.S. history type of assignment. So I opened the laptop, right? Opened the laptop in the classroom, and then I saw a black screen. Yep, the screen went completely black. So I was like, but then like I was just gonna like, this is pretty much an issue that actually was known for this type of on last laptop. I don't know, for some reason like Windows just keeps like doing this on my laptop. It's only with Windows. No other operating system. Like I could confirm, like if it doesn't matter what version of Windows is, Windows 10 or Windows 11. Right now, by that time I had Windows 11 on it. It was Windows 11 that I had on that computer. But it's just sometimes it does this weird thing where like it fails to sometimes initialize the display when it wakes from sleep, and the only way to fix it is by doing a hard reset. So you have to like press the power button, like you have to hold it for a few seconds for the system to like force reset, like the force shut down, and then you have to turn it all back on again. So like I don't know what's causing this. All my drivers are up to date. Windows is up to date fully. All my drivers seem to be good, and I reinstalled Windows a bunch of times. I just don't know how to fix this. It hasn't happened for a while now. So this is like the first time it happened in a while. But like, okay, let's just hard reset it then, so it will turn back on normally. But then when I hard reset it, when I turned it back on, for some reason, it was just stuck at the boot animation. It was just stuck, that spinning dots thing? Like, normally it's supposed to take like 30 seconds here. I left it, it was taking all the long time. So like, I left it for 5 minutes, and yeah, I was pretty much confirmed it was just looping there. It was just stuck there. Turns out, it was updating, right? It was actually updating in the background. It didn't tell me, like, when I closed the lid, it actually secretly started an update. It didn't tell me it was going to update at all. There was like no sign, no notification, or anything that it was going to update, but it was updating. So, but when I opened the lid, it did that like weird, like how the screen turns black, right? It did that in the worst possible time during an update. And again, I had no clue it was updating. There was absolutely zero way to tell it was updating. So like, literally, there's no way to know how this, like, there's just no way to know this. So like, when I forced reset it, I probably like corrupted something in the system files during the update. The update was probably in some kind of like important stage when I forced shut it down. So that caused Windows to break. So but I tried everything, and I even tried booting the Windows recovery environment. The recovery environment was also boot looping. Yeah, somehow this even affected the Windows recovery environment, so I couldn't even, like, it was just stuck there. I literally had no laptop, so I had to, like, I had, like, by the time I called it, I'm done using this laptop, there was only 5 minutes left of class. Like, there's like 5 minutes left for that period. So I quickly grabbed a school Chromebook, and then I was able to finish my assignment. And no joke, by the time I hit submit, the bell rang, so I like finished the assignment. At least I was able to finish the assignment. At least I didn't miss anything. But dude, this could have ended, like, this is just crazy. So then I got back home, right? Turn it on again, and yeah, like, literally Windows just wouldn't boot. The recovery environment wouldn't boot either. So I made a Windows USB, you know, using that, like, Windows media creation tool, right? You know, where you can just easily pop in a USB stick, flash a Windows ISO to it, and boot from it. But for some reason, that USB wasn't booting at all. Turns out every single Windows, like any Windows environment, was failing to boot now. For some reason, like I don't know why, but maybe it has to do something for the drive, you know, because like sometimes like the drive is probably some kind of in like bad state, it's some kind of corrupted state, and like of any Windows environment, like any Windows environment will try to read that drive, but it's like running through some kind of error, so we'll just boot loop no matter where it's booting from. So that's probably the reason. Actually, the system files is so bad that it's causing any Windows installer to boot loop. And again, I tried everything too. I tried different USB drives. I even tried SD card booting. I tried a bunch of ISOs using Rufus too. I tried Windows 8, a bunch of versions of Windows 8, 10, and 11. All of which were boot looping. Even Windows 8 was boot looping too. Even though Windows 8 isn't even officially supported on that thing, it was having the same issue. The only thing that did boot actually was Windows 7. Windows 7 booted, but that's because I didn't put in NVMe drivers, and like, so it's obvious Windows 7 won't work because there's no NVMe drivers so Windows 7 can't even see the drive. But if I backported NVMe drivers to the ISO, like if I manually added the NVMe to Windows 7, then it would probably boot loop the same way. But so I couldn't access the any Windows installation. Like this is actually crazy. Like the whole Windows installation is probably done for now. So, but at least like, so this is what I had to do. I had to actually make a Ubuntu USB. I had to use Linux, so I made an Ubuntu USB, and luckily Ubuntu started up fine. Linux started up fine, and it was able to see the drive. So I was gonna back up my files now, because obviously I couldn't access the Windows installation anymore, and I had some important files, so I was gonna access it. But then when I tried to open the drive with the file manager in Ubuntu from that live USB, it couldn't open it. It failed to mount it. Yeah, I don't know why, but it failed to mount it. Turns out I had to. So basically, after tons of research, and I just use ChatGPT pretty much. I just use ChatGPT, Google AI, everyone uses it, and like, but I did some research myself too. I mean, ChatGPT and Google AI pretty much didn't even help that much, but so I just use my actual own knowledge, and like, after like tons of research and like trying to figure stuff out myself, turns out, what is this? I had to basically remove, it was like, ended up being some kind of hibernation state file that was corrupted. I had to like run some kind of remove hyperfile command with like tons of like arguments and all that in the command line to mount the drive, and I was able to mount the drive, and luckily I got all my files back. But yeah, that installation was pretty much unbootable. Everything I tried, I tried a bunch of Windows environments and like a bunch of Ubuntu stuff and Gparted even. The Windows installation could not be saved. I mean, my files were backed up, so I had nothing to lose now. I had nothing to lose at least, but like, yeah, dude, like literally, I could not fix this installation. This is exactly what I had. Not even though my BIOS worked. Yeah, my BIOS. You know how like many Dells have that support assist recovery tool? That also failed to boot. Because this is what happens, like if you have no installation, if you have no Windows installation on your drive, that support assist tool basically uses its own BIOS tool to download its like recovery image, and in that image is based off of Windows, and then when it boots that, then what it does is like from that Windows environment you could connect to the internet. Actually, no, from the BIOS section, never mind. From the BIOS environment, you connect to the internet, then it transfers that over to that Windows image, and then from that Windows image, you could download and deploy a OEM Windows image. You could actually download Windows 10 and Dell OEM image from that tool onto your NVMe drive. But the thing is, no Windows environment, any Windows environment fails to boot no matter where it's from because of that drive state. And that BIOS tool, if there's already an operating system present, or if you already install a Dell OEM tool, it then just puts that stuff on the main NVMe drive itself. because my NVMe installation is done for and Windows no NVMe environment boost, that BIOS thing was also just stuck on the same spinning dots boot loop. So Linux was literally the only thing I could use. This I pretty much only had two options at this point. Either just swap another drive or format it with Linux. And I obviously chose format with Linux, so obviously why waste this drive? The drive is completely fine, it's just Windows there's just the files on it that's just messed up. So I have to boot into Ubuntu and use gported. I have to completely wipe the whole drive. I formatted the whole drive, and from there I was finally able to then go back to my BIOS, and then I ran the support assist tool again, and I deployed a Windows 10 image, because Windows 10 is the only option on there, not 11, but I'm just gonna stick with 10 for now. But then I ended up going back to 11, and it's still in 11 right now. But yeah, it didn't happen again. But dude, like, this is crazy. Like, all of this happened just because I closed the lid on my laptop. Yep, all of this happened just because I closed the lid, then reopened the lid 5 minutes later. All of that happened just because of that. It was like a huge chain of events. I mean, so like, I don't know what causes this stuff, you know. I mean, I don't know, like, all because of that dumb bug in Windows. There's some kind of bug in Windows where it fails to reinitialize the display sometimes when we wake up from sleep mode. Like, I'm sure like a ton of people like have the same exact issue, but like, for me, this happened during the worst time, in the middle of a Windows update. There's no way to tell it's updating because the screen is black. The screen is completely black, so you can't tell it's updating. Like, it's like Windows is updating in the background, but it can't show anything because it fails to reinitialize the display. So then when you turn it on, then it ended up messing up the system files so badly that that Windows was stuck in the boot loop, and then every recovery environment, then any external Windows media fails to start up. So, and then yeah, like even the BIOS tool fails to start, so you have to use Linux. I ended up having to use Linux to just get the files off, and then you have to wipe the whole drive using Linux again, and then that finally makes the drive usable enough where you could reinstall Windows. So yeah, that's how Windows bricked itself. And now after this, like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be switching to Linux. Actually, like, I don't know, I don't even know why I didn't do this sooner, but pretty soon I'm gonna be switching to Ubuntu because Windows is just not stable now. Windows is just not stable for me enough. Like, this is just literally just not safe to use for me. Like, Windows is not in a good state right now. Hopefully Microsoft fixes this stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely switching to Ubuntu for a good while now. I mean, the UI is way better, so Ubuntu is just gonna be a way better operating system. But yeah, this just shows how unstable Windows is. Windows 11, like, it bricked itself. It literally bricked itself, like, and it was in such a bad state. Like, even its own recovery environment and any other external Windows environment would not boot at all. So, but yeah, long story short, after that, nothing else happened. That was pretty much the only time it happened. I was able to, like, I think after that there was like 3 months of school left. Of 10th grade, there was 3 months of 10th grade, and in those 3 months, obviously still bringing my laptop to school every day, and I was still relying on it with Windows 10 on it and 11. And yeah, nothing happened after that. Well, the black screen thing did happen for a few times after though. Like, it's very annoying. Like, sometimes when you open the lid, the screen goes black. You have to hard reset it every time. You can't fix it after. It is such an annoying bug. Like, and again, I'm gonna say this again too. Again, everything was up to date. All my, like, I don't know what else I could possibly do to fix this, because again, Windows is up to date, all my drivers is up to date, and it's all stable, it's all the correct versions. So, and I have like no weird kind of like mode on in the BIOS or whatever. So, but yeah, guys, that was episode 2 of the Power Blast X podcast. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all for watching this far if you have, and let me know what y'all want for episode 3. Let me know what I should talk about next. But let me know some of your own experiences. Like, I want to know some of your experiences, and I'm gonna try reading those comments in the next episode 2 of the PBX podcast. But like, let me know in the comments, like, what issues have you had with Windows or any operating system in general? Like, what big issues have you had? Like, did it cause any big problems? Like, was it unstable? How unstable was it? Like, did it happen during the worst time possible? But yeah, no, I got pretty lucky that I didn't miss that assignment. I mean, it isn't that important. I could just finish it on my phone anyway after class. But yeah, dude, like, thanks for watching, guys. Episode 2 of the PBX podcast. PBX Jake Patel is out.